You're listening to FAMcast, the For All Manakind podcast, with your hosts, the competitive spirit, Trey Simpson, our own devil's advocate, Tim Weber, and the hopelessly optimistic Trevor Jorgensen. This is FAMcast.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to FAMcast. This is episode 70, and that's the big 70, guys. That's quite
big
a
70.
The big 70. That's pretty impressive.
It is. You're gonna be 70 one day.
Oh God, I don't even want to hit 30 this year, man.
You're only 40 years away, Trevor.
Huh?
You're only 40 years away from 70.
Yeah.
Halfway to 60.
We'll be in
halfway to 60.
When you're 70.
And more than halfway to 50. Basically 40.
Isn't that crazy?
Right. I'm basically dead already. Might as well ride up my will.
But at the same time, think about where you were 15 years ago. Like, that seems forever away, doesn't it?
I was starting World of Warcraft for the first time 15 years ago.
Like, think about how long ago that really is.
That is, man. Time's a bitch, isn't it?
It's a bunch of wibbly wobbly, tiny whiny stuff.
It sure is, man. Wow. Yeah, 15 years ago, me and Trey were in middle school.
Yeah.
Ugh. No, were we? Was that middle school or freshman
you were
year?
In middle school at that point in time. You did something wrong.
I'm a slow learner, okay?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that would have been a freshman year, I guess, right? Freshman and a sophomore. Doesn't matter. Time sucks. We're getting old. We're all going to die. Welcome to episode 70. We've been up to some pretty cool things lately. I think so.
A lot of things. Tim,
especially, who's been delving into like 5 different new games at once. One of those, one of those he just did an Into review on, Tim. Which I think is very appropriate. Tim with Tim.
It's me.
He gave it a 10.
Trey, so I mean,
come on. it could.
Did you make it work? Did you give it a Tim out of Tim?
Tim out of Tim. Stop it.
I'm leaving.
This is going too far. But it was fun. I mean, it's fun. Like, the game's fun. Like, I recommend checking out the Into just to kind of get a quick burst of what it is in short format. But it is fun. I mean, it is a Pokemon clone, but again, kind of like I said in that, it's not a bad thing. It is its own thing. Yeah. It's definitely the same kind of concept, monster collecting and battling, but it's at least they do it different enough.
Sure.
Yeah.
Without competition, like there's no reason for a company like Game Freak to innovate, you know. Granted, right. I think that they do a good job of that. They're always changing things up, but that's not.
I love Sword and Shield. I think it's great.
Yeah, Sword and Shield is
a fantastic game.
Yeah, one of the best entries. But we won't dive into that.
Except for the Pokédex. I'm kidding. No, we won't go into it. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I would like to get into to Tim a little bit, but I kind of have a hard time differentiating it from Pokemon. Like, I feel like I'd be too into the monsters in Pokemon to fully enjoy it, but
that's the toughest thing for me.
Yeah.
Is like, none of these are what I know. And I enjoy it because it's new, but there's no Scyther.
You know? There's no King. I don't want to play this game anymore.
Right. But it is fun. It is. I do recommend it. I'm not bashing it for that. Like you said, I mean, I don't want a monopoly of monster collectors, becoming a thing. So it's nice that they and hopefully, like I said, if nothing else, this will show Pokemon like, hey, we should do an MMO now.
Yeah.
To compete. And then Tim gets his dream and we call it a day.
Exactly.
Like, I've only been calling for this for 10 years, but it's no whatever.
Yeah. Then we'll just shut down Fam and Tim will go be a hermit and just play this Pokemon MMO the rest of his life.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know. That's a good sign, I think.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Also been playing, and both of you dived into Runeterra, the new Riot card game.
Oh my gosh,
it's very good.
It's very good.
So I'm
very good.
From someone that's only played Hearthstone. Like, I haven't even played Magic. How would you compare it to something like Hearthstone? What sets it apart from the other card games out there?
Well, if you watched Tim Into or the Runeterra into, you might get a good idea. I'm kidding.
Yeah. But I like a couple of the good like notes that I say is this is like the only card game that I'm aware of, and I could be wrong, that technically the only difference between turns, and even this isn't that different. So you can battle on each turn if depending on the criteria that you meet, right? So you basically have a system set up to where on each turn, the only difference is who can attack. You can still play cards, you can still play spells, doesn't matter. All of that can be done. The only difference is who can attack. But there are criteria in the game that allows you to also attack on that same turn. Which is very interesting and adds some interesting elements to it. On top of the mana, that's actually probably one of the coolest features as well as the mana, how that works. So every turn, like Hearthstone, Trevor, I'm going to put this in comparison's sake for you. Okay, you get Hearthstone. What do they call them in Hearthstone? This it's mana. What is it called in Hearthstone?
It's mana.
Yeah,
it's mana?
It's crystals and
mana crystals.
Hearthstone, right? Mana crystals in Hearthstone, right? So now, if you have mana crystals left over in Hearthstone, though, at the end of your turn, they just go away.
Yeah.
Well, in this game, up to 3 of those get reserved into spell mana. So now you can go into a turn, and let's say it's turn 4, so everybody has 4 mana, but you saved up your whole last turn, so now you have 3 additional spell mana. So technically, you have 7 mana. Nice. Now, those 3 of those can only be used on spells, but that can give you a very nice edge that you otherwise wouldn't be able to have.
Right. That's pretty awesome.
It is. On top of the champion cards being able to level up.
Yeah. I think it's like the case of Hearthstone where it's got a lot of familiarity since it's already set in a world that we understand already.
Nice.
Which is interesting because like they're building out storylines within Runeterra that kind of coincide with League of Legends itself.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool. And we're seeing characters that in League of Legends they talk about that are like actual named cards in the game in Legends of Runeterra, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's neat. A different way of storytelling that you wouldn't really expect from a card game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's because I know like usually with like Hearthstone, it's very like joking, like very like comic relief, but
yes,
there's some pretty good stuff that's going on in Runeterra, and
nice.
I just like the game primarily because of like the whole champion system. So like your character or your deck is built off of you can do either two what's it called, like 2 regions, or you could just do or just do one, obviously, but I like the 2 region thing a lot. Mm-hmm. It makes for some really interesting combinations of stuff
because each region definitely has their own like elements. Yeah. So for example, there's like Demacia. I believe Demacia doesn't have anything for killing it has like no spells for killing anything, if I recall, but it has spells to buff things, right? Mm-hmm. And then Freyord, am I saying that right?
Freljord, yeah.
Yeah, that one. They have a lot of, again, not killing things per se, but frostbiting things, so the other things can't do damage. That's what's really neat. So like I was making a deck, right? And I made a deck with Emo with Teemo and Ez, right? I should name it that, actually. And I have their 2 regions, and I had to try to figure out some kind of control to make it work. And realistically speaking, there's 2 routes I could go, but one route so other than what their region is, the other 2 routes I could go, one was going to have a lot more killing ability, as where the other route was going to have a bit more like elusiveness and giving things elusive and stuff. So like you really have to like think ahead as to really what you want this deck to do, because you have a maximum of 2 routes you can go. And if you need something from that 3rd route, you're not going to be able to get it.
Right.
Like you just can't. So unlike Hearthstone, where they have like cards that can be used in every deck, right? Because they have those like universal cards. This doesn't have that. So each card is unique to its own region.
Huh.
And it's really adds a lot of
really
elements.
Cool. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the one thing, besides from having to pay for a lot of cards, that Hearthstone kind of hinders your creativity in a way, because like you're locked into this one character type. I mean, you can only select like Hunter, since I play Hunter, I'll go with that, and say like I've got a Hunter deck, but I want to use like this really cool dragon card, but it's only in Warriors deck. Whereas in Hearthstone, you could be like, okay, I want to have my champion cards selected around Thresh,
In Runeterra.
but I also want, in Runeterra, I want, my cards to be centered around Thresh, and then I want my cards centered around Darius as well. You can do that, and then you can select from the Shadow Isle type cards, and then you can select from the Noxian type cards, which I think is like the best part about it. I think
it's really neat.
Nice.
I agree. They do. It is, there is a pay to win mechanic, and what I mean by that, like getting cards, but it's probably less so in this game than any other card game, for the simple reason that they limit how many cards you can buy per week. So like you can only buy when you go to the store, they have and they don't sell specific cards. They sell things that turns into cards, kind of like dust, right? From Hearthstone. Okay. And they basically have it set up to where, you can only buy 3 champion cards, 6 normals, or 6 commons, 6 rares.
Which is like crafting, so you can only craft certain cards.
Correct. And that's it.
Wow. But do you get like a different rotation of cards that you can craft every week, or you're just open to like the whole
You're
library?
open to everything.
Yeah. Wow.
You're open to everything, because when you buy these crafting cards, it's just like a wild card, essentially. You can turn that card into anything you want.
Gotcha.
Another nice thing is, as you're playing, you select what region you want to technically be leveling up.
Oh, yeah.
And as you play and level up and gain XP, you gain stuff from that region. So if I'm working on a Demacia deck and I'm with Garen in them, I can make sure I'm from that region, and as I level up, I'll get cards that help better suit that deck, region.
Okay.
It's really well thought out.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I like it. Sounds pretty creative in its strategy there.
Yeah, it's also free to play, and like I think the only thing you can currently buy is the crystals, the cards, and then there's like a starter pack you could buy, but it's like $5 and you get like 10 cards from each region, I think, or something like that. Which is, I bought it, but
I bought it.
Yeah, $5. You can't pass that up on so many cards you can get. So it's fun though. I really do enjoy it, and the tutorial in it is like superb.
Nice.
Every single tutorial level that you do is totally worth it, and they give you a ton of rewards for doing it. So they definitely give you reasons to do it. It needs to come to mobile already.
Yeah, that's the only thing it's missing out is the mobile version.
And you get
it took how long for Hearthstone for that?
Yeah, I don't remember what the time frame was on that.
It was a while, because I remember I wound up getting what a file format, and I was playing it on my phone before like it was technically a mobile game, because I remember going to GameStop and working with you and be like, "Hey Trevor, look,
nice." Yeah, I still lived in Huber when Hearthstone originally launched.
I remember I used to do like, was it like Google Share or whatever, where you could like clone your computer or whatever, like whatever was on your computer screen, you could basically get into your computer from your phone.
Yeah,
that's what I used to play Hearthstone that way too. I used to play everything like that.
I remember
I played like Warcraft. I was playing WoW. I was doing like questing on WoW.
Did that work
while in school? Yeah, it worked.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it was interesting. Just bust out the tablet and did it too. Like, I was like, had to run to the bathroom.
Trey was ahead of his time.
Oh, right.
I was Stadia before Stadia was a thing.
Right.
You were Stadia before Stadia.
Oh, Stadia.
Stadia's going downhill real quick, guys. Yeah. And they did it to themselves. I'm telling you, all they had to do instead of making their own store, making their own library, was partner with Steam. And it would have been a complete success right off the rip. Because even at that point, even if it's having the same issues that Stadia's having with the connection and the lag input, at least that's what I'm having. A lot of people that I'm reading up is having the same issues. At least I don't have to rebuy my games. I have all of them at my fingertips whenever I want.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would have been a complete success.
Yeah, easy.
Steam wouldn't have to worry about making their own service to do that. And Google wouldn't have to make their own service to sell games.
Or their own control.
That's it. Or their own control. Like, that's all there needed to be.
Yeah. Do you still have your Stadia?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, 100%. Controller's over there. I haven't played it in a bit. I should check it out.
It's got like cobwebs on it. just like
already, right?
Yeah. Looks like it's just sat there for 10 years.
It's like I go on every once in a while. Like, I think last time I got on there, I think I just logged in to get the free games that you get. So
I mean, they got Borderlands 3 on there, which is awesome. But like, you guys already bought it on PC, and you'd have to re-buy it on Stadia.
Yeah,
how
there's no
dumb
way.
is that?
How
dumb is that?
There's no incentive for me. If I already own the game, there's no incentive for me to rebuy it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you can play it everywhere, Trevor. Which is a great idea, but I don't want to rebuy the game for that small thing that won't happen very often.
Yeah.
If I want a game I can play everywhere, I'll buy a Switch.
Damn.
Like they don't even have it
Or,
like
you know,
on
Project xCloud.
Yeah. Like there's so many
It's
better
so good.
paths to take with that. Then I don't know. I know that's kind of getting off topic there, but yeah, that just seems like a complete miss, man.
xCloud is
Oh, it is.
top.
Yeah,
dog
xCloud's
right now,
going to be
dude.
great.
It is top dog right now. It is so good.
xCloud.
I cannot find a single thing that I'm like upset about it with right now. Like every once in a while, it could be like my connection or something like that, but for the most part, it's so clean, dude. Like,
Wait till that 5G hits, man.
I know.
It'll be clean.
Gotta get that 5G phone.
2030.
Yeah.
So the S20 was leaked, like the pricing and stuff. It's interesting, but Samsung.
I think we get a reveal next Tuesday. That's when Samsung's event is.
The 11th.
Yeah.
I just want my Pixel buds. Give me my damn Pixel buds.
They're making different Samsung buds.
Are they?
They're
still-
supposed to be really neat.
Pixel
Nice.
buds. I'm like hard set.
Well, we do have some news we wanted to talk about today, because I think we've kind of talked about it like just in passing, like one off, but we haven't really had a discussion about it. And especially since with the way that Tim's streams went in January, playing through Resident Evil 3 and Code Veronica, we got some rumors about Resident Evil 8, which granted they are rumors. But they're
Let
from
them be rumors.
yeah. They're supposedly from a playtest that Capcom had a couple months ago. And they're very interesting. Some of them I think are kind of maybe not obvious, but maybe not surprising. And then some of them just seem really out there.
Yeah.
Like, is this really going to happen? So Tim, with you are still the RE master. You have not yet made a name change, so I'll let you kick things off with whichever rumor you want to. We'll just kind of pick this apart one by one with whatever you want to start with.
Look, I understand that the series of Resident Evil is all about bioweapons, okay? And that can lead to many different paths and can do many different things. But can we not have werewolves in this game?
Werewolves, man.
I mean,
Or like, if you're gonna have werewolves, please make it unique. Please make it your own thing. Like, don't let it just be, oh yeah, it's a werewolf. Like, make it, maybe it looks like a werewolf, right? And they didn't know how else to describe it other than werewolf. But like, don't make it a werewolf.
Like I think that there's like, don't have it be like killable with like, silver bullets. You mean like
you need silver bullets and he only comes out at the full moon.
Yeah. Like, so is it like a
are there
wolf?
gonna be moon
Is it-
cycles in the next game?
Right. Well, that's the question. Is it a wolf man or is it a werewolf? Like, I doubt that this is going to be something that changes forms back and forth. Like, that doesn't seem.
Well,
What if
okay,
Ethan-
so
Ethan's gonna be a
something
werewolf?
interesting, some Resident Evil knowledge to throw at you in case you guys didn't know this. So to bring it back to something, let's talk about the liquor. And I bring this to a reason.
Mhm.
So the liquor, the reason, do you guys know how a liquor becomes a liquor?
No.
So the liquor becomes a liquor because the zombie is dying,
Okay.
essentially. Okay. And what happens is, as the zombie is dying, the virus then takes a second effect, essentially, because as your body's dying, it releases these hormones and stuff, right? So the same thing that happens with a zombie as it's dying, as it doesn't get food, because it still needs food. It's still technically the same as you and me. It's just is more primal and wants food, right? In this sense, because Resident Evil zombies aren't the living dead. It's very different. They're not dead. They're not the living. It's an interesting thing, but essentially, there's someone who has been injected with a virus and turned, or if you were bit, the virus then gets into you, turns you, right? So there's a big difference between that and the living dead. Blah 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 blah. At least most of them aren't.
Yeah.
So the ones that aren't the living dead, they're still technically alive. And as their body starts to die because it's not ingesting food or whatever, it then releases the secondary trigger of this virus that then basically turns it into a liquor to help it survive. So it becomes stronger, it morphs into all these things, it loses all its skin, its brain like basically becomes so large that the skull has to break apart, and it like covers up the eyeballs, which is why they're blind. And it becomes more of a hunter than it is now a zombie, right? So that's its last resort. So maybe this is a different segment from that. Maybe as the zombie dies, it, instead of triggering it to becoming into like a liquor per se, now there's this other virus that does something else to protect the body from dying. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to give it reason.
Maybe how it's like the hunters were originally lizards, right? Or like, or however.
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
something like
yeah,
that,
they're
where
definitely
like,
from reptilian.
So maybe like
ascent.
the hunter changes from like they injected it with some kind of wolf thing and they hunt as like a pack, and maybe that's kind of like the whole werewolf mentality thing. I don't know. I'd be interested to see how it works out, because I think if Umbrella got their hands on some kind of,
it's new Umbrella now. They're good guys.
With old Umbrella or whatever this new formation is, maybe they got their hands on some kind of, I don't even know, because like what it originally came from a plant, right? The whole like,
I mean,
T-virus,
essentially
like
the
virus.
Correct.
Came
They
from a
came.
plant. So what if they
through,
found some other plant that, you know, made someone like very primal, very like wolf-like or something like that, and then they're like, we can make a weapon into this, and then that's how these werewolves came to be. I don't know.
I just hope the word wolf doesn't go into anything. Like I hope it's just.
I don't want were or wolf.
I just want it to be its own thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because 7 was amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like 7 was so good. I can't imagine taking a step back from that. Granted, we also had Resident Evil 6 happen. So I don't know for sure. But I'd like to
Stay
think,
burned him.
I'd like to think that they know what they're doing.
This is Capcom's golden age, man. Except for Street Fighter.
Except for it's Resident Evil's golden age, okay? Or
Monster
Hunter's golden age, but that's it.
And
everyone else is
Devil May Cry.
And Devil May Cry.
But everything else, Capcom wise.
So Street Fighter.
No, okay, because people want like
did we get more Mega Man?
Stalkers. We did get a Mega Man game, but there hasn't been anything else. I don't know, dude. It's just their fighting game division needs help.
So Street Fighter.
It's more than just Street Fighter. Marvel vs. Capcom died away. Like they could have had so much more support for that, but that's also part of Disney's fault too. So,
oh man.
And Dark
So werewolves.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's just because the person didn't know what else to call them. That's what they look like.
Yep.
That's what I'm going with. That's giving me hope. What else we got? We got Chris Redfield making a return, correct?
Okay,
Yeah, which that's one of those that isn't really surprising since we saw the end of 7.
I want to see Claire again. Oh man, I need to see Claire again in this new HD graphical.
See, I wonder
enhancement.
Didn't you just see her in Resident Evil 2?
Oh, yeah,
in Resident Evil 2.
See, I wonder in this new Resident Evil, I don't know if it's like, I don't even know if you call it like a new universe, but in this universe, if them doing the remakes of 2 and 3, if that's going to coincide with this new era of Resident Evil, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I wonder if they'll have callbacks to certain events.
I mean, so again, from my understanding, and I believe this is proper because I believe Capcom said this was never a reboot. 7 was never a reboot. Mm-hmm. It is definitely a continuation. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if it's a continuation. I got to see if they're still considering 6 in it. And I only ask that because a lot of shit happened in 6.
Please just delete
that I don't know. So there's that. But maybe we'll get a lot of those answers in this game, right? Like that's the potentiality is maybe we'll get a lot of those answers in this game. But I also heard a rumor that Chris is going through another redesign in this game, though. Did you see that?
He can punch larger boulders.
Because like if you look at him, like he went from like Resident Evil 1 and Code Veronica, like a normal sized man.
Yeah.
And in 5, he's like, nah, I'm jacked now. I can punch boulders, And then we see him again in 7. He's like normal sized man again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's Jackal and Mr. Hyde. I'm not sure
of
what Chris is.
Maybe he like,
but apparently
he's like bulking up because maybe it was like bulking season, and then he got called to this mission, and then
that's true. I mean, that does happen.
And then come
that's
around
true.
7 time, maybe he was like in between 5 and 6, and then in between that 6 and 7, he started to like lean down. He's like, I need to be more agile. These got these new viruses that are coming out. I gotta stay quick on my feet. So he leaned out. I don't know.
And then 6 or 7 we have him slimmed down like you were saying. Yeah. I'm honestly, of everything I'm more curious about is why New Umbrella.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, why bring that name anywhere close to who you are?
Right? Yeah,
like,
they definitely have some brand problems, I would say.
Right, this company has done nothing but harm in every single way possible, and you're just like, we're gonna make it better.
So you guys might be able to shed some light on this more than I can, because really this is just a thought. Because I don't know much about the story of 3. So what if after 7, they obviously have the story planned out at least to some degree, and then they do 2 and 3 to maybe kind of solidify, maybe not retcon some things, but maybe kind of solidify some story elements before they jump into the next chapter with 8. So maybe they're doing this because I don't know if anything really changed in 2, but maybe something different will happen in 3. Not drastically, but enough for them to lock this down. Like, okay, this is canon now.
Okay.
So, yeah, and that's an interesting element because, I mean, I assume we are to take that the new Resident Evil 2 and what I will assume is 3 is now canon. Because there are different things that happen in the original, like in the original one. Oh my God, why can't I think of it? Kinto. That's his name. Why I'm blanking on his name. The gun shop owner.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's not dead in this one. He died within like the first 5 minutes of the original.
Okay.
Like, he's over there locking the door, like, it's dangerous, lock,
Yep.
blah blah blah, and dies. Like, that's what happens.
Gotcha.
And so there are different elements, like there are. So I'm very intrigued to see what they do with 3, because maybe you're right. Maybe we'll get some light. Because my thought, and I'm just brainstorming, is like, what if Chris isn't necessarily working for them by his own free will? Like, and bear with me, like maybe they have Jill, or maybe they have Claire, like,
there's no way that
as like a hostage.
Jill would get taken again. There's absolutely no way.
She could be like Princess Peach. You never know. But maybe something's going on to where he's forced to work with them for a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a greater evil out there than even them. I don't know. Because technically Umbrella's gone. Umbrella is gone. In the Resident Evil series, OG Umbrella is gone. In Code Veronica, it is gone.
When did this happen? When did Umbrella?
I'm pretty sure it's in Code Veronica. I'm like 90% sure it's in Code Veronica. Which
and when
hopefully we see.
And when does that fall between?
After 3.
After 3. Okay. So in 4 and onward, there's no Umbrella.
There should be no Umbrella. If I aim to be correct, now I have to do my research again to double check, but I'm pretty sure there's no Umbrella at this point.
Gotcha.
Because Wesker, people need to remember, like, Wesker, he gave 2 fucks about anybody, even Umbrella. He didn't care.
No.
He wanted to become a god himself. Yeah. So he didn't care about any corporation. He used what he needed to use to get to where he needed to get.
Sure.
That's it. That's all it was about. That's why he killed Spencer.
Yep.
He didn't care. Like, he wanted to become a god, and he got in anybody's way who he thought was going to stop him. And he used Umbrella for what he needed to use him for, and he didn't give 2 fucks. That's why in 4, when you see him talking to, or you assumably see him talking to Ada, Ada is helping him get Las Plagas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure I'm doing 4 after Code Veronica, by the way.
Nice.
It's not a bad
But
move.
I will slam through that game.
Yeah,
like,
I know that game like
no
back of my
other.
hand, dude.
So I'm intrigued to see. I'm really, just because of the lore alone, I want to know what the hell's going on in this world.
I'd be interested to see if they make talk of the other Wesker children.
So here's some food for thought. All the other Wesker, there are only 2 living people that we are supposed to be aware of that I believe is supposed to just be canon that made it out of the Wesker, that the Wesker experiment, right? Mm-hmm. There was Albert and there was Alexia, I believe is how you pronounce her name.
Yeah,
those are it. One of them you see in, I believe, I gotta remember if she's the one in Revelations 2. I'm pretty sure she's the one in Revelations 2. And then you see Albert. And that's it. Now, apparently, I'm so mad if this is true. Apparently, there's a new show / movie or whatever coming out about it or something. And it's supposed to host 2 other children. Not Wesker children in terms of the experiment, but Wesker children as in Albert went out and had little Wesker babies. And we already have Jake, right, from 6.
From State Farm.
And look, I have a hard time processing that Albert gave 2 shits about having kids. And to me, he's out there doing what he has to do to become the god that he wanted to become. Yeah. And the way he treats everybody, I feel like he was too all about his business to get down with some business.
Yeah. I mean,
but I guess a man's got to do what a man's got to do. I mean, I don't know, but here's the thing. No matter what it is, no matter what they're thinking, they need to let Wesker die.
Yeah. Yeah. Albert Wesker needs to be done.
Don't ruin his name.
Yeah.
He was amazing. He's the best antagonist of any game series to me. Stop trying to ruin his name.
Yeah.
Wow, of any game.
5.
Bro, that man did what he wanted to do.
5.
And he did it well.
Yeah, kind of. Until the end, Wesker was great. And then when they just threw him in lava, and when they threw him in a volcano, I was like...
And he was still alive.
Yeah.
That man lived through my worst fears. It took a rocket to the face. 2 rockets to the face.
2.
And so many people are just like, no, he's not dead. I'm like...
I could see Wesker doing something like cloning himself or getting into that kind of territory.
That would make more sense. I would at least buy that more than I would the alternative.
I could see Jake in turn being a Wesker clone, not necessarily his actual child. You know what I mean?
So then that brings up a good question, actually. So I would assume Wesker, if Jake is his actual child, because I mean, it's kind of like bringing Maury and blah, 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 you are the father, because we don't have the evidence that all we know is that's what he says, right? That's what he says. But I would like to think that if Albert actually did have a child, I guess depending on when it happened, man, when would that? Because how old was Jake? Because if it was before he injected himself with the T virus, then that would explain why I guess he doesn't have powers. I don't know. There's time frames I need to know.
So you think maybe Wesker before he decided to be I'm going to become a god. It was
right, but essentially because Albert, he had the virus in him. If he did have a child, you'd think that there would be some kind of genetic something there, because Jake is very much just a person who runs a lot.
Just a dude.
So I don't know, man. I just don't want them to ruin the Wesker name. I don't want it to become one of those things where we're just going to throw the name Wesker around and everyone's going to get excited, because we're not.
Yeah.
Let him be.
It's not Albert.
Make something new.
It's not going to be Albert.
It's not going to be Albert. And if it is Albert, then he done messed up already.
Yeah.
Mecha Wesker.
Mecha Wesker. Okay, I'll accept that. I will accept Mecha anything.
I would honestly take a clone.
I would accept
if they would bring
clone
him back,
because
it would need to be some kind of clone. It would have to be.
I would take him as the kind of man who probably would potentially have a clone or something, who would use his DNA for something. I can at least accept that much. Flipping back to these other rumors that we have, so apparently Ethan is going to be our protagonist again in this first-person shooter.
In the
right?
shooty game.
Shooty game. I'm not attached to Ethan at all.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm really not. I think he makes piss poor decisions. I mean, I'm sorry. Why would you choose your wife, who just told you 10 minutes beforehand that she was helping ship a bioweapon to an area that also killed a whole perfectly fine family?
Yeah.
Over, was it Chloe?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Over Chloe when it came to the virus thing. Because that's technically canon. That's the canon route.
Yeah.
And I'm just like...
That was Ethan choosing his wife?
Yeah, Nathan choosing his wife is canon, because the DLC for Chloe is with Chloe's uncle.
Uncle. Yeah. That shit was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 was great. I think we all agree on that, but I didn't get close to Ethan. Like
No.
I there's no real attachment to his character.
I don't hate the man.
You never see all you see is this. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't see anything else.
I know these hands. They've been chopped up and my leg's been taken from me. I just
Yeah.
pour that stuff on them and I'm all good.
Right.
Yep. Staple your hand back on.
Staple your hand back on. It works fine.
Yep. Sure, why not? That's how biology works.
Yep.
I don't know. Like,
No, I totally
I want to
agree
see
with
Leon again.
Leon?
Huh? Oh.
I wonder what he's up to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would like to see like maybe another city sort of thing, not necessarily like a swamp or
Right.
something like that. Maybe there's like another city outside of Raccoon City that had that similar effect, and I just want to be back into that city environment because that gives you like that close quarters, that
Which we are getting zombies back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool if these rumors are to be true. At least we're getting zombies back because zombies are badass.
Yeah.
Everybody likes zombies.
Yeah. I guess that's also too the one thing about 7 that was kind of boring. It was like you got the same enemy over and over.
Just different versions of the same enemy.
Like I wish if they would have switched it up more, it would have been good. It would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
This one has a blade for an arm. And this one does not.
This
one's small but really fast.
Yeah, this one's fat. That's it.
This one's really fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then again, not to take away from the game itself, because it was still, even how it was a terrifying experience.
Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh.
Like, they did really well, and it was fantastic. And Resident Evil isn't just about zombies, right? Like, it's bioweapons, primarily bioweapons, but that doesn't mean that's not what we don't like to see. I mean, the very base foundation of their bioweapons were turning people into mindless soldiers, essentially, and monsters, and that's what's the best way to defeat your enemy if not by turning them against. Yeah. So I'm down for it. I don't want Resident Evil to become just about Ethan, because if that's true, this is going to be the first game in the series that the sequel is the protagonist in the sequel is a direct correlation to the which I guess is fine, but give me more.
Yeah.
Don't
put out a comic, put out a book, do something to flesh them out a little bit more.
Right, just don't do the same things over and over again just because your last game worked.
Mm-hmm. Innovate, make it different.
Innovate a little bit. I mean, I get the whole saying
werewolves.
Don't fix what's not broken. What'd you say? Werewolves. Oh my gosh, Trevor.
Well, it's like if you're going to make a character, like a new character, and use them again, Ethan needs to be fleshed out more in some kind of like outside media, whether it be a comic.
Like, who is Ethan?
Right. Like, we don't know. We just know that he's some dude.
And maybe that's what we get. Maybe that's the point. Right. Is we find out who Ethan is in this game, and we're a dick or something. Like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we set the whole thing up about Evelyn. I don't know. But I agree. We need to know who Ethan is.
He's the secret.
I agree.
Wesker
I want to know
kid.
who he is.
He's a Wesker clone.
Oh my gosh, Trevor, no.
Because like if you look at the other characters in Resident Evil, they've been put into other things, right? Like you've got Chris in 2 Marvel's Capcom games. You have Jill in 2 in 2 other Marvel's Capcom games. Like you've got also Wesker. These are like notable names. Like you don't see Ethan in.
But we also know who they are.
Right. I mean, I guess that's true.
Right. That's the big difference is we know who, like Chris has a story. Jill has a story. Leon has a story. Claire has a story.
Which
Ethan went to save his wife, who wound up being a bad person anyway.
But I don't know if you ever noticed this either. I think it was in Resident Evil 2, not the remake, but I think maybe the original one. In one of the documents, one of the original people who worked on the T virus or something like that, I think it was either a scientist or a policeman that was in Raccoon City. Their name was Ethan. Like their name was Ethan. I don't remember the full name, but yeah. So that could be interesting to have that dynamic of.
That was in 5.
7.
Want to.
The document?
Oh, that was in
Wait.
2.
2.
I think it was in 2. I'll have to find that.
Yeah, because I think I remember what you're talking about. Where someone found a document to where there was an Ethan that...
Yeah, because I think they worked at
I heard
an
about
Umbrella,
this.
which would be interesting because you would think,
Which actually, not only would that be interesting, that would make a lot of sense as to why they came to the house. Because how else would they know to come there?
right.
Like, granted, there's a big bioweapon outbreak happening there, right?
Mhm.
Which I'm sure, we've been doing this for 20 years. You'd think we get this shit under control by now.
You would think.
Money talks. Money doesn't do shit when there's monsters everywhere. Like, there's monsters everywhere. We go give this monster $20 to not eat your face.
Right. Do it.
Yeah.
What's he going to buy?
Ooh, I might do Revelations next, too.
That'd be
You guys
good.
ever seen Revelations?
I haven't played that one in a while.
No. That's
So
the one that
it
was
a
on
3DS
3DS.
game, and no one thought it was going to be good, and it wound up being phenomenal. And they ported it to PC and consoles.
Interesting.
And it
I
went
remember
really
that.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
so
when it
I
got
might
ported.
wind up playing that because I haven't played that on console yet. I only played it on my 3DS,
Nice.
but it's so good,
That was one of the first 3DS games too.
and it was so good.
Wow. That was a long time ago. I worked at the Huber GameStop at that time.
I remember getting my first 3DS and looking at it like, oh, like the effect was just like,
Yeah.
okay. Now I can't see because my eyes are cross-eyed. But
Oh
that's
yeah.
okay.
Never used the 3D.
Never.
Nope.
Never.
Mm-mm.
I just had to dust off my old 3DS XL just so I could make sure my
Me
Poke
too.
Bank and everything
I had to find
was,
my
like,
charger.
working. Yep. Oh, I still don't know where mine's at. I legit have no idea where
The
my
charger?
charger's at.
Yeah, my 3DS.
It's not a micro USB.
I don't remember where mine's at either. I'm upset that I still can't find that. Because that was that Legend of Zelda one that I got.
I got that one too.
Yeah, I almost.
Huber Heights.
Yeah, because some guy
Golden
got
Ocarina.
some guy got mad at me because I put one aside for Trey.
That show was hilarious. I don't know, I think I was
Yeah.
like the last person to come in and get it too.
Yeah, I was
like
like, sorry.
It was like the lady behind me was asking for it, and they're like, "No, we're sold out." He got the last one. She like death stared me. I was like, "Sorry."
Good times.
Ha ha. That's
My
funny.
bad.
I still,
So
I
I-
have that one and the Majora's Mask one still. Those are the only two I have left.
I have the golden one. Which one's the golden one?
There's a few golden ones. There's
Yeah,
the Link Between Worlds, has the Triforce on either side, and then there's the Majora's Mask one, which is also gold.
So I think I have the Majora's Mask one. I'm like 90% sure I have the
I think you do too. I think we both got that.
Yeah, it's the Majora's Mask one.
yeah, that
Cameron
was
was
cool.
freaking out.
Because I sold my Pokemon. I bought the Pokemon one when X and Y came out. Ended up selling that, and then sold the Triforce one too. I sold that Triforce one for like $400.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Made some good money from selling these 3DSs.
Yeah,
Because at one point in time, I had like 4 3DSs, and I was like, this isn't right.
this is
This
Guys, look.
this is a problem.
Look.
As he pre-orders a second Nintendo Switch.
X and Y.
Nice.
It's the good one.
They're all
Not
good.
Sun and Moon.
They're all good. Too.
But I guess bringing this back to Resident Evil, I don't know. I have hopes. I have good hopes for it because I remember. Petridge Farm remembers. When the announcement trailer for Resident Evil 7 got announced, I was flipping my shit. I was stoked for it. I was excited. Trey was angry.
What? Resident
Yeah,
Evil
I
Trey
do
thought it
remember
was gonna
that.
be-
Yeah, I think I saw that video somewhere.
Yeah,
Trey was
we
like,
definitely
this is
have it
dumb.
somewhere. That was the Game Awards, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Back in the old place.
Yeah. Wow, that's hard to believe.
What? I didn't know Ethan even had a face. Sorry, I was like doing some Google searching, but apparently this is him.
Yeah.
Well, he's
What?
scarier than I thought.
When did they ever show him in the game? Whatever. I'm not worried about it.
Trey's data mining Resident Evil 8. Capcom report him.
So,
Redbeard guy comes out with all like
no. That would
God.
be the worst.
You brought this on yourself, Trey.
Oh my gosh. I just Wait, wouldn't that mean he had to get by you? Like, you just like let it happen.
Oh, hey.
Right.
Where is he? Oh, he's right over there.
Yeah.
I have hopes for it, and I'm putting my trust in them that werewolves or not, it's going to be fun and it's going to make sense. That's all it has to do. Just let it make sense.
Make a little bit of sense, you know? Yeah, I feel you on that one.
And I get Resistance with Resident Evil 3 coming out.
I'm excited.
We
Which
do
means
get
you need to
Resistance.
on Xbox Trey.
I'm like,
Oh,
my
doesn't care what
friend
I get it on.
is selling his Xbox One X for like $150. I'm tempted to get that off of him.
Why would you not?
Because I already have an Xbox.
Well, because it's $150.
Because it's $150
Okay.
that I don't have right now.
Fair enough.
But
If not, you still have a regular Xbox,
I
right?
do. I have the Gen 1
Because I want to play Resistance with my friends.
Yeah. For sure.
I think the hardest person is going to be Zach to convince him.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be crossplay. We don't know that.
It won't be.
Like between
It
PC
would have been announced.
between PC and Xbox. Who knows? I feel like Xbox has been getting that groundwork laid down pretty thick. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll be one of the like cross game because of xCloud or something. I don't know.
Dude, I really hope Resident Evil gets put on xCloud. Like any of them.
Yeah.
I will play that at work just because I can at that point.
Same. xCloud is it's too good, dude. Like
It's
they
very
got it
good.
down pat.
It works well, and it's just fun.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Resident Evil 8. It's nuts that we have 8 of these games now, but
Just 8 core games. Not to mention
there's plenty more.
how many others besides the 7 core games currently are there?
Well, let's see. You have Revelations 2, Deadeye, Survival, Outbreak, File 2, Gaiden. What was the one on the DS or the DS called? There's one, Dead Silence.
oh yeah, Dead Silence.
So that's at least 7 just
Operation
off the top
Raccoon
of my
City.
head. Operation Raccoon City, Mercenaries. I'm probably missing. Dark Side Chronicles, Umbrella Chronicles.
Umbrella Chronicles.
There was one released in Japan that never made it to the States. And I don't remember what it was. It did not go well at all. But it was basically like a Resident Evil shooter. I'm not going to count it because I don't know the name of it, and it wasn't released here. But there is something else out
Operation
there like
Raccoon
that.
City. Did we say that one already?
Yeah, we said that one. So at least, just off the top of my head, 12.
That's
12
so
other
crazy.
games.
Oh, the Umbrella
Wow.
Corps, the multiplayer one.
Yes, Umbrella Corps.
Umbrella Corps, interesting. Is that the Japanese one?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
yeah.
Wow.
So 8 main titles, 12 at the very least
Survivor.
side titles.
Oh, Survivor.
Well, and Code Veronica, technically, because Code Veronica doesn't fall into the 1 through 8.
Yeah,
Even though it is actually kind of a main series
it
game.
was
So
supposed
that's
to be
the
the
difference.
3,
Some of them,
right?
what's that?
Everyone wants it to be they should have named it 3, while Resident Evil 3 should have been named
So
something else. But-
right. So essentially, Resident Evil 3 was supposed to be a side project,
Yeah.
like more of like a 2.5 kind of ordeal, right? Like that. Essentially, that's what it was going to be.
'cause it was really called Resident Evil like 1.9 and then 2.1.
Yeah,
this later name.
it was something, but the people making Resident Evil 3 wound up dropping the ball. So then Capcom's like, okay, we're going to completely just put all our money and things into this 2.5 Nemesis game, and they made it a full-fledged game, which is also kind of why it's short.
Yeah.
Because it's not very long,
Yeah,
right? It is
sure.
a shorter Resident Evil game, but it's one of the best there is. So
Is there a difference between Code Veronica and Code Veronica X?
there are a few differences. You get a few more cutscenes with Wesker. There are. There's not a lot, but there new playable character. You got to play as Steve.
Fucking
You
Steve.
didn't get to play as Steve in the OG. Because Code Veronica came out on Dreamcast only. Code Veronica X was PlayStation 2 when it started.
Steve sure does look different between the two games.
Good old Steve.
Fucking Steve, dude.
Fucking Steve.
Are those all the rumors for Resident Evil 8?
For now.
I For now.
Isn't it supposed to be announced like soon? Wasn't that another rumor that it was going to be announced like in February or something? Or maybe I'm
I don't know. I mean, they did announce the thing for the Resident Evil ambassadors that we got for that play test that they're inviting people to.
Oh, you mean like they announced it like that we could play it?
Yeah. Well, they
We just
didn't
don't know what
announce
we're
that it
playing.
was Resident Evil 8, but
It could be another Resistance
beta, like
public
test or something.
Well, this is something
server.
It could. I won't say that it's not, but they also want, like, these are only in select parts throughout the country or throughout the world, I should say. So I wouldn't think that they would have you go to like LA or New York just to play
we have to
Resistance.
go there to play these.
Yeah. Yeah, these are
That'd be
ones that you travel
badass.
to.
That'd
Yeah.
be the best experience ever. If we
That's
are
what I'm
going
saying.
if we get selected.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm down.
I will be sick for sure. I will explain like, look, I need this.
Lori, don't listen to this.
I don't care if she is Lori. I need this. Cough, cough right now.
Yeah, that'd be a fun experience. It was fun enough just playing at PAX that one
the
year.
demo.
It'd be a very expensive experience. Like,
Yeah.
to
Now, granted,
but,
we
man.
wouldn't necessarily need a hotel. We could just fly in and fly out.
That's true. And then fly out with the horrors of what we saw.
Yeah.
Mm.
Zombies on.
I'm
a plane.
excited.
Yeah, me too, man.
I've got high hopes since they've been doing so well with their franchises,
Yeah.
on their phone game division. But everything else has been pretty solid.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think that about wraps it up for episode 70. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I can't
It's
really think
good.
of anything else.
Capcom, don't let us down. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
We have faith in you. Maybe when we go to this playtest, we'll play your guys' fabled battle royale in Raccoon City.
Oh my gosh! What if that's it?
I
They-
would be
they
very
invite-
upset.
They invite Fam out personally.
Yes.
Guys, we listened to your podcast. We wanted you guys to get first hands on this Resident Evil Raccoon City battle royale.
Tim, I think me and you just need to do like a side podcast and just explain the mechanics of the game,
The
like how
whole
we think it
thing.
would be.
That could be a lot of fun. We could do it while playing Operation Raccoon City.
I didn't go.
It's a good time. What are you talking about? No, I think we've talked about that like on several podcasts leading from like the second one, and like we talk about it a lot. So they've had many chances to hear us out and make it. So it should be done by now. I expect that to happen now.
You've had
The
your
Redbeard
chance.
guy knows what's good enough, what's good for him. He
Right.
listens to the podcast.
We'll make sure he's a
know
zombie.
where I'm at all times.
Right.
We'll make sure he's a zombie.
Yes,
Ooh.
100%.
That is not a threat. That is
It's not a
100%
threat.
not a threat.
Not at all.
It's a promise.
I was that close, Trevor. That close.
No, we've got some good stuff coming your way. We've got some more N2s coming. Tim's going to keep playing through his Resident Evil franchise. And we might have a few things that we can't talk about yet that are in the works too. So wonder what it could be. What could it be?
What could
Crash.
Yes.
So appreciate the support. Let us know what you
Yeah.
guys thought of episode 70. We'll see you guys in Discord, and we'll be back in 2 weeks for episode 71.
See you later.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to FAMcast. Be sure to subscribe for the latest episodes and follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and our other socials at For All Manakind.